everybody, welcome back. So today I'm gonna just continue with the rat house stories. I'm about to go get my kid like in a couple of minutes, but I feel like, I can just throw these stories out there real quick. So let's get right into this video. Um so this story is obviously takes place in the rat house. Um so my aunt, my dad's sister, she used to make little mop dolls, like the old type of mops, and she used to use like the top of the mop for the head, and then like the rest of the little things that hang for like a dress, and then the hair. She used to do all that, and she made a doll for my mom. So my mom hung it up in the kitchen, and I guess my dad was in the kitchen one day, and he said the doll started to swing from side to side against the wall by itself. It was a pretty heavy mop thing, so it wasn't possible, like, unless somebody passed by and, like, swung it. But other than that, like, it just started to swing back and forth, back and forth. And it started to, he said the head part started to, like, rotate, which kind of freaked him out. So he said he just walked up to it and slammed it against the floor and said, "You're not going to scare me." And my mom said she didn't know what happened to the mop doll. My dad threw it away. She didn't know where because she couldn't find it. And like for that, never again my aunt made dolls like that because they weren't allowed in the house anymore. So this other experience, it was my mom and my grandma that were sitting in the kitchen. Yes, the same kitchen where the ball used to get dropped and stuff like that. So my grandma always had like this oval mirror. You like hold it with your hand to like, she used to like just sit there and tweeze her eyebrows. And she always left it like, she always used to leave it like in the kitchen on the table because she was just always in front of the mirror all the time. So my mom was sitting down. The mirror was like right next to her on the table, and my grandma was like washing dishes. And it was like daylight because my mom said that you can see the reflection, like when the sun hits a mirror and it reflects up on the ceiling, what it was like that bright. So my grandma was like talking, and they were just talking away, and all of a sudden my grandma starts to see the reflection of the mirror up, like where it was hitting, just like spinning. So she's like up there just staring at it like, what the hell is that? While my mom's staring down at the mirror because it just started to spin. She said out of nowhere, it just started to spin really, really, really fast, and it wouldn't stop. And my grandma like then looked back and saw what was spinning, and she said that when they both were staring at it, that it just started to like slow down and it stopped. So that was another like freaky experience that they had there. This other one was, I like to call this one the machete story, because this was around the time my dad was working like night shifts. Like I said, he's always switching in and out of day and night shifts and stuff like that. So this time he left at 6 p.m. and my grandma and my mom told me that it was like around 11:30 this happened. They were just sitting there chatting away, late at night because the kids were asleep. And the all of a sudden they hear kicking. Like, we had two doors. One of the doors, you have to get in through the first door, which is like, it's attached to the house. It's pretty much like a storage thing, kind of like a garage thing, but you can't put a car inside. It's just a door. You go inside. We had like a bunch of junk in there, and then you walk into the house. And then there was the front door. So this happened where where like the storage room was. So they heard like really heavy kicking. They heard like really heavy kicking. Totally interrupted. My mom called me. Okay, so where was I at? So they heard like really heavy kicking at the door. And my dad used to wear like these, they look like rain boots. They're very like tall up to your knee boots, and they were just black, and they're very, very heavy. I remember that because I used to try to wear them. And they're just really heavy boots, you know, like if you kick against a door really hard, it sounds really loud. So they were just kicking at the door, and it startled them because they were just like, what the hell, like, you know, my dad wouldn't come and just start kicking a door because he knows like there's kids asleep, and like that would just be like dumb to do, you know what I'm saying? So my grandma was like, she's like, this isn't my son, he's not playing this game. So they continue to hear it, and my grandma pulled out a machete, like, you know, those long ass freaking knives. She pulled out a machete and told my mom, go into the room, lock yourself in there. And my mom was like, what are you trying to do? And she was just like, just do as I say. She goes, I'm gonna knock on the door 3 times, and I'm gonna say, it's me, that's me, open the door for me. If you don't hear those knocks, it's not me. My mom then realized my grandma was gonna go outside and beat the shit out of whoever was trying to scare. You know, hopefully nothing happened to her, but like, she was like gonna go outside. So my grandma went outside because the after that, like when they were talking about this, the kicking kind of stopped. So my grandma was like, oh, maybe that person's just trying to leave, you know? So like my grandma went, she left outside through the front door to try to catch the person that was in the other side of the house. And like I said, you know, if there's a car around, we're gonna hear it, and you're gonna see dust flying around because it's like in the middle of nowhere. And at that time of night, it's super silent, so you would hear cars coming from a distance, and you would see lights because it's really dark. So my grandma went outside. There was no cars. She said she went around the house 20 times, opposite directions, looked everywhere. I mean, if there was somebody running through the cornfields, because at this time I said there was no corn, they all chopped it down, you would see a person running through the fields, like, you know? And it was like, my grandma went around 20 times. She didn't see anything. It was like nothing was there. So then she like went to go do the 3 knocks and told my mom to open the door, and she did, and she said I didn't see nothing. Like there was nothing there, but they both heard the kicking. It was like extremely loud. And they told my dad, and my dad was just like, I don't know what to tell you because I never came home. And my grandma still went outside during the day to investigate, like to see if she saw like footprints and or like car prints or just anything out of the ordinary. But there was nothing. She checked around the cornfields to see if there was like footprints of anybody running through the fields. There was nothing. So that was like, what the hell? So yeah, after that, there's this other one. My sister had her, my sister, my mom had her sisters come over one day. They were just having like sister breakfast, you know, they were just eating in the kitchen. I remember we had this stereo, and we had this up for a lot of years, like 10 plus years. Like it was like I think it was the Panasonic 100 disc changer stereos from back in the days, and it came with like 3 foot speakers, so it was like extremely loud, you know. And my mom had one of those in the living room. And so they said they were eating dinner, and my mom was talking to them about everything they were experiencing because, you know, they didn't live there with them, and they were just like talking about it and trying to see like where it was coming from and stuff like that. So then my mom, they said they were playing music, and it was really low, like very low, like nothing loud, like they were able to talk comfortably. She said out of nowhere the stereo just went on blast, like super loud. And it was like so loud, they were like panicking, and they were just like, go turn it off, go turn it off. And nobody wanted to go because they were like freaking out because they knew what was going on. And they were like, no, let's go together. So they went, and my mom said that the dial for the volume was on like min, like really low, but the speakers were like on blast. She tried to see what, like, try to debunk it in some type of way. She talked to my dad about it. They even like changed the wirings in it, like, just to avoid it happening again. No, and she said it happened a second time. The same thing happened. They were talking, and the thing went on blast. So then she said that after that, she just never turned it on when they were there because they just didn't like it. So, yeah, those were like some of the stories that I forgot to mention in the other videos, but it was good because now I have another video to talk to you guys. So yeah, and then after that, just weird stuff started happening with the animals. We had a bunch of dogs. They were always fighting. I had one dog. It was a German Shepherd dog, and it liked to chase the tractors, you know, because there was always tractors out in the fields during the day. And this particular time, one of the tractors, it was like the ones that have like those blades, that I guess are supposed to like pick up the dirt. And my dumbass dog, and I saw this happen, was behind it, and it was like barking, barking, and barking at it. And the guy didn't hear because he had like these ear things on, and he backed up into my dog and sliced him in half. Her in half. Her name was Lady. Yeah, that was just like traumatizing for me to see that. I saw like everything happen, and I told my dad, and he went to go bury the dog, which was really gross. And then one time my dad ran over my cat. Like, she always fell asleep on his Firebird, like in the wheel. So my dad was running late one day, so he just backed out, ran over my cat's head. And we always have like we were always used to like going up to the window and just like trying to say bye to my dad through the window. But this time he just came out with holding the cat's tail upside down, flat head, like literally eyeballs hanging out of its sockets, and we were just bawling and crying and say, "I'm sorry, your dumbass cat was under the cart." And he put it in a bag and took it to work to like throw it into the trash cans over there. Yeah. So anyways, well, I have to get going. I will be posting real soon again. I think the next video we're going to be going to a Halloween store with my kids. I'm going to try to record. I'm not really good at this. I'm barely getting started to see how I do. So, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment down below. And share this video. Bye. I'm deep in all the truth. I to the